Hello, everybody. Welcome to Something to Talk About. And this is my new series, second episode of my new limited series, the Lord's Guard, the Stormlands edition. So, yeah, without any further ado, let's just get into it. Hi, welcome to Something to Talk About. My name is Taco. And yeah, as I just said, this is the second in my Lord's Guard, series. There's not going to be too many of them. It's going to do one for every area except for the Crownland. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, let's just read this huge thing. So what is this show? Just like all my vids, I don't edit. I like the feel of me just talking to you and all with all the imperfections and a tad bit of improv. Now for this series, I'll be giving all Lord Paramounts their very own Kingsguard. In this scenario, they are not kings, so it's not a Kingsguard, it's a Lord's Guard. All of it, the history is the same, but the only change is the lords have to build a guard consisting of 7 fighters. With the customs of the kingdom taken in consideration, this would be if they had them at the start of the books. So that's the setting all the characters are in their timeline. Oh my god, this is just a dumb series, just my opinion. Yeah, don't come after me. Like, if you disagree, that's fine. I will do my best to try to put my mind in the head of the current lords, and I try to think politically, and all this stemmed, I wrote steamed, all this stemmed from a comment by Brodyday. So thank you a ton. Yeah, dude, Brodyday, it's my second vid, and all this is because he did a comment where he's like, hey, should make like all the Lord Paramount's Kingsguards. So that's what I'm doing. So in this scenario, as I said, the history is for the most part unchanged unless I have to tweak something to justify, no, let's not say that again. I'm not justifying anything, but like, if a character joins the Lord's Guard, of course, their story is different, right? So it would change the books later on, but I'm not like changing any crazy things. So let's just say from the start of the 7 Kingdoms, everybody had a King's Guard or a Lord's Guard, but it's not like I'm saying, oh, but Lord blah blah would have been in the first Lord's Guard with like Ormond and Baratheon, and that's why House Karen doesn't exist. I'm not doing that. I'm just saying, beginning of the books, Renly, Stannis probably had 1 or 2 of these guys, had his own Lord's Guard. And this is what I'm calling it. So I'm calling it the Storm Guard. I almost went with Lightning Guard, but I felt like that would have been a little too like stepping on House Dondarrion's toes. So yeah, I have 7 knights who I think would have been part of the Storm Guard during the beginning of the book. So it had mostly been appointed by Renly, kept with him at King's Landing, and also wherever they need to be in the Stormlands, and then probably 1 or 2 at Dragonstone, even though Dragonstone's not part of the Stormlands. That's where Stannis was. So I think it would have protected the quote royal family of the lords of Storm's Landing, which are, or of the Stormlands, which are the Baratheons. Okay. Anyways, let's go. Let's get an elephant out of the room really quick. Let's talk Brienne right away. So, Brienne of Tarth, let's get this out of the way. There is a small possibility, very small possibility, that Renly would name her to the Storm Guard. Like razor slim possibility. She was only named to the Rainbow Guard because she won a tourney and was granted a request, and she asked for a cloak in the books. I think that is kind of possible in this world, mainly maybe Renly's pity for her and her love for him. What I wrote, I didn't mean to write that word, would press it, but I can't give her a spot. Let's give her a maybe. I will still list 7 more, so go ahead and replace her with one of them if it makes you happy. I don't think she would be in it, right? So I got 7 people as if I'm not putting her a spot. But people really love Brienne, and they might say, no, Renly pitied her and would put her in. I just don't see it. I don't. And even though that happened with the Rainbow Guard, but I feel like a lot of stuff had to happen for her to get a Rainbow Guard spot. But if I'm wrong, that's fine. Tell me, if you say no, she'd probably be freaking Lord Commander. Okay, cool. I'm glad that, like I said, this is just our own opinions. So, yeah, I respect 100% if you think that Renly or Stannis would have had her in the Storm Guard. So, we'll move on with the actual 7 people that I do think would be in it. And we're starting off with a weird one right away. Well, an obscure one. Sura Guyard Wylde. So this guy's pretty unknown, but he fits. So he is a knight from a powerful and important house, House Wylde. So House Wylde would probably want representation, or they would want it, because you have to look at this politically, right? So the main thing is they follow the rules of the Kingsguard, so they're not going to have any heirs, right? They can't inherit anything. They're going to serve for life. And it's a political move. You're bringing people closer into court, right? So you're going to want to grab your powerful houses. And House Wylde is definitely one of those. So he is not the heir, and we know that he is eager to fight because he joined Beric, as in Beric Dondarrion, in the force sent to the Riverlands to apprehend Gregor Clegane and bring him to justice. Eddard chose him specifically. So he might not have chosen himself. But he definitely went with him, but he was picked by Eddard. So he must have been known enough to be as a good fighter. It sucks he died in the Mummer's Ford right away. So he didn't last very long in the main books, but he was picked to part of the Kingsmen that later became the Brotherhood Without Banners after this guy died in the Mummer's Ford. But I think he is a good young knight, and yeah, totally could have joined. I think he's my first pick. So we'll move on. Another smart pick from another really big house is House Estermont. So Sir Andrew Estermont. So another knight. I like Andrew for a few reasons. He is from a very important house in the Stormlands, and he is the Lord's grandson through the younger son, or he is a nephew. We're not really sure. Yeah. It's said in the books 2 different ways. So his dad might be a brother or a son of the current Lord, but either way, he's pretty removed. He's probably 4th or 5th in succession, right? So he's pretty far removed, whether he's grandson or not, right? So let's just say he's not heir, right? But either way, he is not his heir. He was a squire for Stannis, so that kind of helps, and all around a nice and solid guy. In the books, so after this would take place, he did help Davos with Edric Storm when he smuggled him out. So we know his priorities are straight. So yeah, I think Andrew Estermont is awesome, and I think it makes a lot of sense because he squired under Stannis. So then once he became knighted, he can go, hey, next time there's a slot open, I would like to join the Storm Guard. And then boom, he gets it. And I do like of him staying at Storm's End and protecting Edric Storm. I do like that, right? So yeah, Andrew Estermont, absolutely, I think is a shoo-in. This one's got a lot of shoe-ins where I'm like, of course, of course they're in. All right. So Sir Guyard Morgan seems like a no-brainer. See, he joined the Rainbow Guard as the Green in the books. And after Renly died, he joined Stannis, showing us that he is loyal to the Stormlands. He is considered a very good fighter, and he's a perfect candidate. Yeah, I don't got too much about Guyard besides that weird name, but Guyard joined the Rainbow Guard, and unlike some of the people in the Rainbow Guard, he's not an heir. Isn't it weird that Bryce Caron joined? I didn't put Bryce Caron in this. Don't worry, I'm representing that house. But I didn't put him in this because he's an heir, and that was maybe the Rainbow Guards had different duties, or maybe he didn't care that he was the heir. But I think Guyard Morgan makes perfect sense. I looked. He is just a knight of House Morgan. He's not right in line. And we already know that he wants to fight for Stannis and Renly, right? So, boom. What did I just say about House Caron? Sir Roland Storm. Heck yeah. All right. This is one of my favorite characters of all time. A lot of people know I love Roland Storm. And yeah, so Sir Roland Storm. Now we're talking the Bastard of Night Song. a bastard with strong ties to a powerful house, House Karen, not to mention his reputation as a seasoned killer and overall badass. He's a perfect choice. He's the bastard brother of Lord Bryce Karen, and even Cersei in the Red Keep knows that you can't mess with this guy. Man, my typos are just all over the place today. But yeah, so Bryce Karen like wouldn't join, even though he joined the Rainbow Guard, but I don't see him joining the Lord's Guard here. But I think Roland Storm would, and I think that people would like reach out to him, like, "Hey, we got a slot open, and you might not have ever like said you want to join the Lord's Guard, the Storm Guard, but bro, we kind of need you. You're a heck of a killer." And yeah, since he's not, of course, later on he does possibly inherit Nightfall, right? Because Nightfall, that's her Night Song. There you go. Because Bryce Karen does end up dying, but at this point, if it was before the books, he would not think of him having any type of inheritance. So I think that he would be very keen to joining the Storm's Lord Guard. So yeah, speaking of seasoned killers, we got Richard frickin' Horp. Sir Richard Horp to you. This is another no-brainer, all right? We know he is fiercely loyal to Stannis and the Stormlands. We know that the Moth Knight, the Knight of Moths, tried to become a Kingsguard at one point, but Cersei turned him down. So, yeah, he tried to join the Kingsguard and get a White Cloak when... Sorry, a little hiccup there. So, yeah, maybe when he couldn't join the Kingsguard, he went and he joined the Knight's Guard. Lord's Guard, sorry. Couldn't join the Kingsguard, so he joined the Lord's Guard. And I think Richard Horp is perfect. Okay, so we know he tried to do it and Cersei turned him down. So he is keen to live that life. His only known loves are battle and killing. The type of badass you want protecting you. Yeah, that's all they ever talk about with Richard Horp. I did a video on him, though, by the way. Go check it out. But and Roland Storm, a few of these guys. Yeah, so they out whenever they bring it up, like Stannis is talking later on, like, oh, he wants this place as his seat, but he really just loves killing. He just loves killing. Here we go, killing again. That's Richard Horp, dude, and I think that he 100% fits into this. So, all right, we got two left, two Storm Guards left, and yeah, this guy became a Kingsguard in the main book, but after where this takes place. So I think it's possible that he would be a shoo-in again to join the Storm Guard. So before the Lord Commander, this is my last. And the next one's the Lord Commander. So Sir Balon Swan. If this guard is put together, yeah, so if the guard is put together before the books, that leaves Balon Swan open to join the Storm Guard before he joined the Kingsguard. As Balon didn't join until Preston Greenfield's death during the riots of King's Landing. Balon is part of an important house, House Swan, so politically totally makes sense, and is a known tourney knight. I think he is a shoo-in, 100%. I think Balon Swan is a freaking shoo-in, unless he doesn't want to join the Storm Guard because maybe he wants to join the Kingsguard later on, so he's not taking like the JV seat, right? He's waiting to get, varsity. So yeah, that might be the only reason that you don't think Balon is in this. Maybe he's waiting to actually get a White Cloak, but I think he will join the Storm's Guard, and I think he's one of the principal freaking members. I think he's a shoo-in. A lot of this list wrote itself until I got to the Lord Commander. I made a really weird choice. So I originally had Balon Swan as Lord Commander, but I got a goofy one, and I hope you guys like it. So I think the Lord Commander is Bonifer Hasty. That's a weird one. So I think this guy, Sir Bonifer Hasty, is straight up Lord Commander. So a weird one, but the more I thought about it, the more I love it. In my headcanon, Bonifer loses his chance at love with Riella Targaryen, and he joins the Stormguard instead of creating the Holy 100. So if you guys don't know Bonifer Hasty, go watch my video. Tell them I sent me. Tell them I sent you to me. There you go. So anyways, but if you guys don't remember Bonifer Hasty, and you don't feel like watching that video right now, even though you should, click like. He tried to make it with Riella Targaryen, and then when she gets betrothed to her own brother, Aerys the second Targaryen, the Mad King, dude, like, gives up on all love, and he goes super pious, and he starts his own, like, band of holy knights that he calls the Holy 100. They call him Bonifer the Good Hasty. So he's got like this religion, Bible thumping thing to him. So I think in this storyline that we're creating here, instead of making it the Holy 100, he then joins the Storm Guard, and that would have happened a while ago. Right. So, So since he is the oldest knight on this list, he is the Lord Commander. Think Barristan Selmy, but of this guard. The more I think about it, the more I like this stick in the mud old knight Bible thumper as Lord Commander. I think it's great. And I know you guys are thinking, well, Barristan Selmy is from the Stormlands. Why isn't he in it? Because I'm not plucking anybody out of the Kingsguard, right? Like, I'm not pulling anyone out of the Kingsguard unless they join the Kingsguard after the start of the books, like Balon Swan. So, yeah, there you go. Bonifer Hasty is Lord Commander. No one saw that coming, I bet. All right, there you guys go. What'd you think? This is a new series. I did the Northern Guard. Go check that out. And now this is my Storm Guard. And tell me how wrong I am about not putting Brienne on here. I put her as a honorable mention, right? As a maybe. Kick out the Wylde guy. I already forgot his name. Kick him out. Put Brienne in if you're really mad about it. But yeah, I'm actually really proud of this list. Click like, subscribe, and this is your first time here. Welcome. What'd you think? And a shout out, thanks one more time to Brodyday for coming up with this idea. I'll be giving him a shout out on every one of my videos that I'll be doing in this series. So yeah, peace.